Primo Lopez, 11-0, 9 KOs. The best to do it right now in the game is to take over. Shout out to BNboxingNews.
Hey, girls, continue. I've been Westway champ of the world. Everybody go follow BNboxingNews.
Greetings, boxing fans. This is Nick with BNboxingNews, and I got my boy Brandon with BNboxingNews in the building. And like I said, we here to talk about Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter. We was both at the fight last night. I mean, like I said, ringside, so we saw it all on the floor. We saw it all, man. And we just thought about coming back on here to just see, just talk about it. Let's talk about it, Brandon. Talk to me.
Yeah. I'm surprised Bud ain't locked up for what he did to Shawn last night, bro.
You said what?
I said I'm surprised Bud ain't locked up.
Man, let's put it this way.
But
I'm gonna tell you how I see it.
At the press conference, he said Kenny did the right thing because he was coming with a vengeance. So
yeah, I heard him say that.
He
Put
was
the volume up a little bit.
He was gonna hurt Shawn.
Yeah, I heard him say that, man, that he was gonna come with vengeance. I think it's a known fact that Bud is a good finisher. He comes in to finish your ass. He's gonna finish your ass with vengeance. So I think that's a known fact. What's going on, Expert Genius? Salute, man. Salute to you too, man. Like I said, I know you and we sat right next to each other, and you saw the fight one way. I saw the fight the other way. I know I had it 5-4 heading into the 10th round, and you said you had it. How did you have it? 6-3?
I had it 6-3.
Okay. Yeah, so by matter of opinions, we both saw it slightly different. And I kind of had, being honest, I've talked to numerous different people since the fight last night. And pretty much I had several people tell me they had it 5-4. Crawford, I told them I had it 5. I told them I had Porter ahead for numerous different reasons.
Yeah.
But like I think you and I was talking about, you said, I remember you saying this. You said no matter who wins, if it goes to the judges, they're going to say that they got cheated. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that that Crawford was able to dispel that by ending the fight his way.
Yeah.
To where he didn't need any judges.
Yeah. And we looked at the judges' scorecards. 2 of the judges had it like you saw it 5-4. I had it 6-3. But if you look at it, the first 5 rounds, even on that judge that had it 6 rounds to 3, the first 5 rounds, he gave the first round Porter, second round Crawford, third round Porter, fourth round Crawford, fifth round Porter. But from 6, 7, 8, 9 on, he gave those last 4 rounds before we got to the 10th round to Crawford. And I think as the fight went further on, from 6 on, it was clearly more defined that Crawford was starting to kind of take the lead and kind of get ahead a little bit. He was landing the more cleaner shots, the more effective shots. Shawn was still coming forward. But to me, from 6 on is when Bud started to separate himself, in the fight. And, I think it wasn't one shot that hurt Shawn. It was an accumulation of those punches, over time, and I was actually surprised by, we always hear how strong Porter is and how tough he is in the ring, but even then people around Team Crawford that know him say that he's very strong. And, he's stronger than what most of us think. And we really never saw that. But I think we saw it this fight. Even in the clinches, Shawn used to go bully you, pull his arms out and swing over the top and, be very aggressive with you, staying in your chest. When he clinched Bud kind of clinched back. And you could see, Bud wasn't bulging, and that kind of took me, by surprise a little bit that, he was actually, just as strong as those people close to him, actually said it. I think we got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, I can agree with you, man. I can agree with you. Uh, Ronald Franklin. Ronald Franklin said Crawford cemented who he was at welterweight. Definitely a top tiger. He's top dog, man. I can't take nothing away from Crawford, man. Last night, I think we all saw. He dispelled all the rumors, all the everything. For us, people saying that he wasn't ready. People saying that he wasn't a top dog in the welterweight division, and he asked the question himself after the fight. And to go in the same direction that you was going in, I think Porter got away from the jab later on in the rounds,
Yeah,
and I think that Bud did prepare for a nice roughhouse fight because Bud was roughhousing Porter back.
that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know Bud had that in him, but he was roughhousing him too. And a lot of those punches that Porter was throwing, he was missing. But as far as a good inside game last night, I didn't see that in Bud. I think Bud's inside game kind of got exposed, I would say.
I don't know about exposed. I think when Porter gets in your chest, he did what he did. When he was effective when he got in Bud's chest and was able to kind of, fight the Shawn Porter way that we're used to seeing him fight. The difference was between when Porter fought Thurman, fought Garcia, fought Spence, versus when he fought Crawford. Crawford was turning. Crawford was stepping to the side, stepping back when Porter would lunge, and Crawford was there to counter all night. So he didn't give Shawn many opportunities to to get into his chest. But when he did, when Porter got close, that was Porter's work. That was the way he was going to win the fight and win the round. So I don't think it's a situation where Bud got exposed. I actually think it's we got to give Bud his flowers, man. He got a lot of flack from a lot of critics, a lot of fans. Shoes, I think even me and you may question his opposition, but he did beat Shawn more decisively, and I think even easier than Spence did, than Thurman did. Those guys eked out and once again, the fight was close. To me, it was close, but it wasn't close. Especially as you got toward the later rounds of the fight, you could start seeing Bud be Bud. And he displayed, to me, greatness that, we questioned if it was there. And, I think the watch out is, now that Porter's decided to retire, now he was a washed up fighter. Like we can't get Bud the Floyd treatment where, it don't matter what he do, he not going to get the credit. I actually think that the way he beat Porter, you got to go back and look at Bud's resume, look at the guys he beat, look at their records, where they were at that time. And maybe you got to relook at that and say, you know what? Maybe Bud was just that good to make those guys just look ordinary. That's just what Floyd did. Floyd made Robert Guerrero look ordinary. He was Victor Ortiz look ordinary. Maidana, ordinary. Floyd made a lot of fighters that were thought to be great, but then when he got in the ring with them, they were too old, or he fought him too late, or Canelo, he was too young. Nah, man, he beating the guys that's there in front of him, and once again, the skill, you can see the skills that Bud have, and he's separating himself, from a lot of these guys.
Mm-hmm. Now, I agree with you on that, man. The expert genius says, I've been telling people since Bud moved up to welterweight that Bud is not as small as people think, and that he is stronger than what people think. Got called a Bud fanboy, so I stepped back on talking, man. We're not gonna criticize anybody from liking their fighter. For the word fanboy, we're not gonna use that word on this channel, man, because I think everybody should have a difference of opinion, and we can agree to disagree. Just like me and Brandon here. You know, he saw it one way, I saw it a different way. He likes who he like, I like who I like. He ain't a fanboy. We all of us, cumulatively, we all fight fans, all right? So now, man, if you love Bud, man, speak on Bud, man. Bud, good people. You know what I'm saying? We respect Bud on this channel. We respect Errol Spence on this channel. We respect all fighters on this channel.
Yep.
Okay, we got Ronald Finkley. He said Porter showed how weak his offense was, lounging in to the abandonment of defense.
Yeah, I agree with
Abandonment
that.
of defense.
I
Yeah,
agree with that.
that was his whole
But you
game
know
plan.
what? That's what got
And
him. But that's what made Porter who Porter
that's
was.
what took him out.
He's always fought like that. You know.
Yeah, that's the Porter way,
nothing new.
like they called it. That's the Porter way, lounging
Right.
in like that, and Bud watched that, and when Bud got in rhythm, he made him pay. Quentin Tate said Bud blossomed after the 5th round. I definitely agree. I think by the time the 6th round came, I mean, Bud was in rhythm and Bud did what he had to do. I mean, the body of work that he was performing on Shawn Porter broke him down piece by piece. I mean, those left hooks was just cemented the damn game, bro. His left hooks was just crucial. Crucial. Ronald Finkley said Bud is a capitalizer. Definitely is. Also, Ronald Finkley said that was a rusty Bud also. Imagine the next fight.
Yeah.
Bud always stays in shape, though.
Bud didn't look like he had any time off. His previous fight
but
was
he always stays in shape, though. Remember, Bud is the type of dude, when Shakur have a fight, he's in
training
there with
all
Shakur.
them guys.
When Henry had a fight, he's in there with Henry. He's in there with everybody, man. And that's the thing they brag about when it comes to the difference between Bud and Spence. Bud is always focusing on boxing when other fighters are not. I'm not here to dispel, to knock anybody else, but that's the difference between Bud and everybody else. That's good stuff, man. I'm glad you supported the fight, bro.
Hey,
We was at the fight,
and if y'all can,
basically,
man,
we wasn't gonna go to that fight. We was gonna also order it too.
Yeah. Y'all be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to BNboxing News. We're gonna start trying to bring y'all some more content, some more good stuff, and share it with your friends. Have them follow us too. We're gonna try to do some more big things, with this media stuff too. So follow us, and like the channel, like the videos, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man, we were out there. It was a great experience. Sometimes we get credentials, sometimes we don't. It don't matter. We find a way to make it work and have a good time nonetheless. I thought it was interesting talking to Bernie. Bernie the boxer. Right there in Team Crawford. He spent some time with us. Talking to us about, just the mindset and what going into the fight from a Team Crawford perspective and how big this fight was. And I will say this, as I'm not gonna say Bud made it look easy, but it didn't look like it was a tough fight, but it didn't look very difficult for him. But that team was prepared for Porter. Bernie talked about how big this fight was to them. As much as these guys talk about he ain't worried about Spence. Spence saying he ain't worried about Bud. Them dudes thinking about it. That's talk. Them dudes thinking about that fight and what that fight could mean to each other and how it could play out. And it's just trying to make it happen.
I agree with you, man. Now, it was you got to think about exactly what Crawford said. Crawford said that to him, it was one of the biggest fights of his lifetime because if he would have took an L, it would have set him back. Whereas Porter already took some L's. Porter would have just been Porter. Just like last night, this fight didn't affect Porter one way or another. But this fight was a statement. It was a stamp statement for Crawford. I mean, now no one can say he's that Crawford hadn't beat a top welterweight. And not only did he beat a top welterweight, the manner in which how he beat him, he stopped someone that's never been stopped before. He his last few opponents, his last 5 opponents, he stopped them. Now, who else is doing that in the welterweight division? So we got to give him his flowers, bro. We got to give him his respect. You know what I'm saying? We got to give him respect. I mean, being boxing news, we tip our hats to him. But at the same time,
go ahead.
they got a dog that was out there last night that want that smoke named Errol Spence. So we're gonna see in 2022 what it is.
Hey, let's call these people out too, man, because we see the politics and how they kind of try to make people look bad and stuff like that. So they were talking to Bud, right? And they first mentioned Spence. And that's when they showed him on the big screen or showed him on camera. And he looked up and he kind of like shook his head. And, you know, he respectfully kind of walked out, which was cool. The fight was over. But then they circled back later on in that interview. I don't know if they asked him another question about what's next or fighting Spence or Bud said something. But they ran that same clip like he was shaking his head and walking out again. You remember that, Nick?
Yeah. Made it seem as if he walked out when Bud was referring to the crowd. Oh, he's out there? Nah, this dude had been left.
He had already left
right when the fight was stopped.
Yeah.
So by the time they was talking to Bud and all that stuff, it was a big, long time recess. He was long gone. Let me get to some of these guys.
And then the commentary was bad too. Like they got a clip
it's
on
always
IG
bad.
talking about, oh, look at him walking out. All he can do is walk out. Come on, man. Come on. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
The commentary is always bad though. Ronald Finkler said Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has some serious decisions to make. I'd rather networks just appreciate him as a top fighter.
Hey,
I agree.
I
agree
thought
with you
the
too.
most gangster thing of the night too was when he set up in that press conference and said what he said in front of Bob Arum. He said you couldn't secure the fight when you were with me. So how can you secure the fight when you're not with me? I'm moving on with my career.
I agree because Bob Arum don't want him to fight Terrence. Don't want him to fight Spence anyway. Bob Arum is trying to go towards Josh Taylor. So I think he's making a great decision. There's rumors out there that he may be going with MT Global. I don't know how true that is. But it is what it is, man. Wherever he goes, man, good luck to him.
He gonna have options. I think Bud should take the Canelo route right now, or take the Mayweather route right now, and just kind of stay
fight by fight.
You know, well, Mayweather kind of locked himself into a couple networks, but he was still fight by fight. He wasn't tied to no promoter, you know. But he was fight by fight, got those network deals, which were very lucrative. So, you know, it's a little different. But Canelo right now is that network promoter type of free agent that fight by fight. Let's look at it. Don't tie yourself down. You know, he got options, but we do know this though too. If he still wants to fight at welterweight, and he wants to fight the other top welterweight, which is Errol Spence, and other potential top welterweights, the majority of those welterweights right now are in that PBC camp. You know, so we can't disregard that. You know, and some of the decision making that he might have to make around that as well.
Okay. Ronald Finley says, hold on one second. Terence Crawford has some serious decision to make.
Yeah.
I'd rather network just work it out. And then Expert Genius says, salute to Porter. To Porter, though. He fought everyone but Pacquiao and Floyd. Resume is one of the best. See, that's something that we're going to go back to on what we were talking about earlier.
Now. Let's get to it right now. We can get to it right now.
We can get to it right now. See,
it's Shawn Porter.
Just by what you said, Expert Genius, I'm going to repeat what Expert Genius says. He said, because I feel the same way. He said, salute to Porter, though. He fought everyone but Pacquiao and Floyd. His resume is one of the best. By that right there, that one piece, I think that he is.
So the question is this.
Huh?
And once again, I'm gonna ask everybody kind of think. Not, I'm a fan of Shawn Porter. I'm a fan of his fighting. I'm a fan of his style. I'm a fan of the man that he is in the ring and outside the ring. You know, a man, a father, a son. You know, a businessman. You know, getting into commentary. So you know, he got a lot going for him. But is he a Hall of Famer? That's my question. And I'm not too sure that he is. He's a two-time welterweight champ. Okay, but his title reigns weren't very long. You know, he defended the title, the IBF one time before he lost it to Kell Brook. He defended the WBC title once before he lost to Spence. The signature fights that would have defined his career against the top welterweights at that time, whether it was Keith Thurman, whether it was Danny Garcia, whether it was Earl Spence, whether it was Terence Crawford. He came up short, you know, so and he's campaigned at 147. He's not a titleist in another weight class. You know, so when we talk about Hall of Fame, you know, and once again, it's not a knock on Shawn and his career and his contributions to the sport and the work that him and his father has put in over the years. And once again, I'm a fan, you know, so I can't really say nothing, right? You know, but in my opinion, when I think about some of the boxers that I know and grew up watching, and I compare them to him, I don't see where his resume matches up with, you know, those that are in the Hall of Fame.
I feel you. I feel you. Let me get to this cash app. Thank you, Ronald Finkley, for that cash app, my brother. I mean, salute to you, man. Thank you for the support. Definitely, thank you very much, man. We definitely appreciate that cash app. Now I'm with you on that, man. But sometimes, man, guys that show heart, tenacity, is willing to fight anybody in the box and then four squares, and he's been a two-time champion. I mean, you can't help but to respect him and give him that Hall of Fame title. I'm gonna tell you why, because that's the problem we have in boxing right now. Nobody want to fight nobody, bro. We not getting those fights, bro. And to see a dude like that that's willing to fight anybody, everybody, man, come on, man. He
Yeah,
deserves
bro.
it, bro. I'm
But
just
what I'm
being real
saying is
about
I'm
it
not
because
knocking his willingness and his warrior mentality to fight the best. But when he fought the best,
he came up short.
he came up short. So if you the best, and we talk Hall of Famers are like the best of the best. And once again, in the big scheme of things, you know, Porter could probably be in there. You know, once again, I don't know everybody that's in there, and I'm quite sure their names and people. When I go
Hell
back
yeah.
and look, I'm gonna be like, who and why? What did they do? You know, but I'm thinking more modern age, and some of the fighters that I've seen retire, or as I grown up and seen them retire, and their accomplishments. I don't see where Porter gets in. Like Sugar Shane Mosley, who's had a better career, Sugar Shane or Shane or
Sugar
Shawn
Shane
Porter?
gonna eventually get in there, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Miguel Cotto.
Come on, you know he's Hall of Famer, bro. I mean, some
Yeah.
people, it just take time, bro. It take time, and they
Now
get in
you
there,
tell
man.
me now if you try to put an Antonio Margarito in there, now come on now. Over Shawn Porter, that's where I'm gonna have a problem. You know, or you could say Marcos Maidana fought everybody. The man he won the title maybe once or something like that. Nah. You know, so yeah, absolutely. If you gonna put them guys in, you definitely got to put Porter in before you put, you know, those guys in. But when I think about those multi-weight class champions, or champions with long title reigns, that's where I think Shawn may fall a little short, you know, compared to some of his peers and counterparts.
Yeah. Again, Ronald Finley, thank you for that cash app. Quentin Tate, I respect Spence, but he's trying to hold on to that belt by avoiding Crawford. We're gonna see, man. 2022 is gonna tell it all. And I'm gonna tell you, in 2022, they don't fight each other, then I think we can start pointing finger. Ronald Finley said, "Expert genius can't keep letting boxing do us dirty by disrespecting these fights getting made." I agree with them on that, man. These dudes got to either fight or get the hell on out of here. I want to see some fights. Ronald Finley, True Media, man. Salute to True Media always. Definitely Ronald Finley is the show winner now. It has to happen now. You got to remember, these guys are only getting older year by year. Terence Crawford is already 34 years old. Ronald Finley came back again and said, "We witnessed greatness yesterday. Black on black, white on black. It's about the best. No roadblocks." That's what I was saying, and that's why I salute Shawn Porter, because he fights anybody and everybody. And last night he fought a stud. He fought somebody. He fought one of the best in the division in the game of boxing. You know what I'm saying? So we salute Terence Crawford. We salute him, man. We take our hats off to him. We take our hats off to both gentlemen. Ron Finley said the women are doing good also. The USA, Jamie Mitchell, Alicia Baumgardner, the Guo, Clarissa Shields, always, and
Yep.
McCaskill. Oh, yeah, we love the women on here, man. We love the women boxers on here, and we do definitely support them. The Extra Genius says, facts, salute Ronald Finley. What's going on, T. Lou? Talk to me. T. Lou, talk to me, man. True old school fighter and should be awarded for it. You hear that? He's going against what you just said. T. Lewis said, "True." He
That's
said
fair
Porter
argument.
is an old school fighter and he should be awarded for it. Not all Hall of Famers were undefeated. Many
True.
had losses.
True.
You know, that's what I'm trying to get him to understand. Ronald Finley said,
Look, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, once again, okay, let's look at it this way: if he fought everybody and didn't win any titles, would he
"No,
be a Hall
I'm
of
trying
Famer?
to get. See, what you're saying is because he didn't defend his titles, he don't belong in the Hall of Fame. In the Hall of Fame, of course, he defended it once against Paulie Malignaggi.
He beat
Dude, this
Ugas.
man's he's a two-time champion. This dude right here, bro, was a warrior, bro, in the game, man. Yeah, he came up short. We can't hold that against him. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. He did his thing, man. And I say, bro, boxing gonna miss him. Watch what I tell you. Because you know what's gonna probably happen in 2022? Ain't nobody gonna fight no damn body, bro. Because you know they got that young dog out there calling out everybody.
And look, that's why he's retiring, because he said he doesn't want to be a gatekeeper. Because
and rightfully so. I don't need to see these young boys coming through stepping on him. Hell no. He fought everybody at the top of his division. So at this point, it's no more work for him. There's no more work for him. So yes, if he has to leave on that note, I salute him for that. Why be a gatekeeper? Why? You know, thank you for always dialing in and watching our channels, man. We salute you, Ronald Finley. But my whole deal is, when it comes to Terence Crawford, who do you want to see Terence Crawford fight next? Now
it's got to be
that
Spence.
a
It's got
guy
to be Spence.
like
And
Porter
you think about it.
is leaving the division.
You think about it right now, right? Ugas is tied up with a mandatory, and then there's an eliminator for, to be another mandatory for the WBA. So Ugas is gonna be tied up all next year, trying to either legally not have to go through with it or whatever the case may be. So Spencer, I know they want to try to unify all the belts, but you can't wait on this Spence and Crawford. Ugas is a dangerous fighter that we saw even against the old man in Pacquiao. He looked very good. Who's to say Ugas get in there with Crawford and things might be different? Who to say Ugas get in there and Spence, things might be different. So you run, and we've seen it. The longer you prolong these things, the more risk you take in losing the big money fights that we all want to see, which is Crawford Spence. So hopefully, Spence, eye heals up. He can get enough work. Maybe give Spence a tune up, before he goes into it. Maybe Crawford takes a stay busy fight. Maybe they get on the same card and, try to fight maybe sometime in the summer or next fall, But I think that fight has got to be Gotta be next.
Yeah, no. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I heard you say next. My problem with next is, I know Spence don't believe in tune-ups, but I think Spence need at least a nice little tune-up due to his injury and due to being off for so long. I wouldn't recommend him go straight into a fight in the Lions Den with a guy like T Bud. I don't recommend it. T Lou said, especially with all these dudes ducking now, that gives Shawn even more respect. Definitely. Also, T Lou came back again and he said, I like somebody to scoop Uga's belt and Spence Crawford to be for undisputed, but I doubt that'll happen. And it's very
It's gonna be hard to
unrealistic.
get that
I
belt off of
agree.
Ugas. Now, the only way maybe is if Ugas vacate, but then now that's like paper champion, and you really didn't beat the man who beat the man. And I mean, for the history books, yeah, but it's gonna have that asterisk, And I think Ugas is a dangerous fight for anybody. Experienced Cuban fighter. He arguably beat Shawn. Shawn arguably
Yeah, I
lost
think
that
he
fight.
did. I think he did too. By a slim margin, he did beat him by a slim margin. Ronald Franklin said Spence has to make this fight and
Ugas pulled
understand
it out.
everybody's buying it. Yeah, I agree. It's the money fight. Whoever decides, Ronald Franklin said, whoever decides to buy it, it says, let me see again. He says, it's a money fight. Whoever decides to make it free agency, definitely. T. Lou said, Ugas is tough. He did beat Shawn, honestly. Yeah, we all on that page. Remember, if you hadn't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button and always feel free to comment. Again, hit the like button if you hadn't done that so far. Edwin Burke said Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are both afraid of each other. That's why the boxing, hold on one second. He's bad. Said they both afraid of each other. Okay, he said Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are both afraid of each other. That's why the boxing match is not taking place. Both of them are all talk, no action.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about that. I don't think these fighters are afraid to fight anybody. I think, once again, because when you step into the ring, there's a surmountable amount of risk that you're taking already, putting your life on the line to fight anybody. Anything can happen. It's the politics of boxing that continue to get in its way and in the way of the sport as a whole. So it's not necessarily those two that don't want to fight each other, but everybody got different interests. The people around them, the managers, the promoters, the networks, the sponsors. I even remember, even with when Floyd was fighting or, fighting on different networks, it was Tecate. What beer was it before it was Tecate? That was the sponsor. I can't remember, but it was something else, huh? So
Yes,
like
definitely was.
those things, like while they're small, those are millions of dollars to different people that have a stake or interest in these fights. So it's just tough that all those things got to line up, and then that's where you get the Mayweather, Pacquiao, the Wilder Furies, those cross network, promotions across different promotional companies working together. So, but I don't think those guys are afraid of each other. I don't think they're afraid of losing to one another. I genuinely think those guys want to fight each other, but the business side of it has gotta make sense. And right now, it makes more sense than anything else right now. This fight is as hot as is at its highest point that it's ever been. And both of them have done their part to get to this point. Spence beating Porter the way that he beat Porter, even in a close fight, and working his way up. Beating Kell Brook across in his hometown. Defending his belts. And then beating Porter. Crawford coming up from lightweight, to junior welterweight and unifying. To beating some of the top welterweights. Or competitive welterweights in the weight class up into Shawn Porter as well. So they both have done their part, and this fight is as big as it can be. So I hope it happens. Maybe summer of 2022. Who knows what Canelo might do? You know, if Canelo wants to fight twice a year, you know it's gonna be Cinco de Mayo and the Mexican Independence Day. That's at least the dates that he starts to look at first. You know, if it works out. But if he's trying to fight 3 times a year, you know, he might fight in March. So then that leaves May open, you know, for Spence Crawford. And they got to work out that split. It ain't going to be no 70-30. I don't even think it's going to be 60-40. You know, I think it's going to be Crawford ain't is not going to let us, it's not going to take, and I say the word disrespect, but you know, I think he looks at that as being disrespectful to what he brings in his accomplishments. You know, and hopefully the pay-per-view did well, you know, to show that he is a draw. But that fight, I think that split is going to have to kind of get closer, I think, to that 50-50 potentially for it to happen. What do y'all think?
Yeah. Ronald Finley said Ugas was a good boxer. Ugas is definitely a damn good boxer. The expert genius says Ugas was losing to Porter was business. They needed to make Porter versus Spence. I can see it that way. T. Lou said, look how Wilder got treated. That's why dudes scared to lose. Absolutely. Great way to look at it. And I can't blame them. It's sad. That's why Porter was special to me. Yeah, that's a great point, T. Lou. Great point. Ronald thinks that people need to understand it's one voice if we want the fight. Stop the catering to one side of the fence and we can get the fight. Ronald Finley also came back and said, I'm going to wait to hear what both challengers think. He said that Spence versus T. Bud is a 50-50 point blank period. Spence has to get that part. Yeah, I hear you, man. He has to get that part. I don't think he got that one yet. You know, it's a big part. We got to understand one thing. Spence thing that he brings to people, the crowd, which accumulates to money, and that's why it's the different side. And plus, he comes with the belts. Edwin Burke said, regardless of who it is, anyone in your division, other weight division, you are a coward. You are afraid of getting beat by that person, and they have called you out numerous of times. I got it, bro. I
respect that.
I respect what he's saying right now.
I don't necessarily agree with it because once again, we all knew. You know, if you follow boxing, you know, Bud has been with Top Rank. Spence has been with PBC. Ain't no difference when Floyd and Manny. When Manny was with Top Rank, Floyd was, you know, his own boss doing his own thing. He wasn't going to work with Top Rank, you know, unless it made sense. You know, so it's all these other things that gotta fall in place, which, you know, sometimes it's within the fighter's control, sometimes it's not, you know, and the business has gotta be there, unfortunately, you know. But I don't think, once again, anybody stepping into the ring, you know, I wouldn't dare call Macau because I ain't in there, you know, nonetheless, you know. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, more to it than them guys wanting to fight each other, man. Unfortunately, I think it's crazy. You know, it's a lot of money to be made for everybody, but it's just what it is.
Bud said it last night. Bud said that he's leaving Top Rank because what? Aaron couldn't get him the Spence fight. So it's more than just that fighter wanting to fight that fighter. The promoters got to make it happen. T. Lou, you're right. T. Crawford worth went up last night.
What Fat Joe said?
Yesterday's prices is not today's prices as far as T. Bud.
Not today's price.
After last night, yesterday's prices is not today's prices for T. Bud.
Price went up.
His shit went up. Fuck. His shit went up. Ronald 50 said respect to you, T. Lou. What's going on, Rob Gibson? What's going on? He said, I think Spence will get bullied up. Damn. I see, after last night, a lot of people really looking at shit different. Everybody looking at shit different. I'm not going to rush to, you know, let me see what Edward Burke said. Edward said, My brother, you don't know about boxing, regardless of a person ring a championship, fight anyone in their weight division. If the money is right, the word either Yokomoto is scared, or your team is scared. Now, I get what you're saying, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, what you're saying is somebody call you name fighter. But these dudes ain't fighting for free, bro. That's why it's called prize fighting. These dudes ain't just fighting because we want to see them fight. If dollars don't make sense, they ain't going out there, bro. They want to get paid for their fighting. T. Lou, nobody bullying Spence. That's what Spence is a fucking bully. Ain't nobody gonna bully him, bro. I ain't on that one.
So
Ain't nobody gonna bully Spence. But at the end of the day, because a nigga call your name out, that don't mean you're supposed to run and jump
there
to
were
him.
there were times in that fight though that I was scared for Shawn, because it was one thing when Crawford was moving and countering him, and he was still catching Shawn, with check hooks when Shawn was lunging in. But when Crawford started walking Shawn down a little bit, that was my most nervous part of the fight, bro. I was scared for Shawn, bro, when he started coming forward. And that was before the knockdown,
But what they're saying, though, I didn't catch that last night. When we were actually watching the fight, they saying that somebody, after the ninth round, somebody in Terence Crawford corner told him that he was down the scorecard. And that's why he went bananas like he did in the 10th.
I mean, didn't Ward have him down on the scorecard?
Yeah, so somebody told that to him.
He was up on the judges'
had him down
scorecard.
big time.
Yeah. So
somebody told, same thing like Floyd did to Tank, somebody did that to Terrence, and Terrence went like he went. You saw the results
turn it
of
up
that.
like that. Shit.
Yeah, he turned it up like that. They said somebody in his corner told him that he was down on the scorecards, on the unofficial scorecards, and you saw the results of that, which we all know the results of that.
But the thing is too, like, go ahead.
Yeah, T. Lou, see what T. Lou said. T. Lou said, I was like, whoa. When Terrence started coming forward, I was like, he a problem for everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, T. Lou, what's going on with Terrence inside game, bro? Because I was talking to Brandon about Terrence inside game. I said it was kind of exposed last night. He was saying it wasn't exposed. What you think about Terrence inside game as of last night?
Porter wasn't in his chest long enough to expose him. He got in. He had a little bit of success, but that was about it.
he said it was looking rough. I mean, that's the thing about fights, bro. Styles make fights. Last night, he probably saw some gaps. Dude, Red, you already know Bomac, Red, and Bernie. They're gonna fix it. If they saw they're gonna look at that fight, they're gonna analyze that fight. And if there was some gaps there, that's their job to fix it.
Crawford got hit with some big shots now.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He got hit with some big shots from Porter, and the question was, well, Bud doesn't have a chin. His chin ain't gonna be tested. His chin was tested a few times during that fight.
That's the point I'm making. Look at Ronald Finkley like you, bro. Ronald Finkley just like you. Y'all must have been sitting next to each other.
Man, no.
Finkley said I might be biased. Yeah, you biased.
No,
right.
Here's the deal. I was saying going into this fight, I'll tell you this. Going into this fight, I was probably more leaning toward Spence in a Crawford versus Spence. I probably 60-40 leaning towards Spence.
Oh man, look at this.
Man,
look at this stupid ass white boy on here.
I'm shifting. I'm almost in the middle, man.
Hey, BD, look at this here. That's why we try to tell you. Look at this dude, Ku Klux Klan dude. You see him?
Bro, hey, let him troll, bro. Tell him to show his face.
I got something for his ass.
Yeah, let him sit up there. Ain't nobody worried about that.
Stupid ass. I just took care of it, bro. I like, fuck what he said.
Ain't nobody worried about that.
Yeah, dog. Just for no reason, dog. This right. Come on, somebody channel got shit to do. Burn. When all niggas to burn, he said. Bitch, I ain't gonna burn. Stupid motherfucker, bro. You should have subscribed to my channel, man. Fuck.
That's the view, man.
Subscribership, stupid ass.
We appreciate the views.
He said T. Lou said he good from the outside and pivoting when Sean rushed, but the inside game is a problem messing with Spence. I kind of said that too. T. Lou said Chin looked real good last night. His chin did look real good. He took some good fucking clean shots from fucking Porter
the
in the
difference
early
with
rounds.
the difference with Spence is going to work behind that jab. Spence builds everything off the jab, fights everything off the jab. So if he has an effective jab against Crawford, that could be the difference. You know, but Bud is going to give you the movement. Bud's going to give you the angles. He's going to switch from southpaw to orthodox. We know Bud can fight off the back foot. We know Bud can fight coming forward. We know Spence can fight coming forward. And we seen Spence fight off the back foot if he's had to. We seen Spence fight on the inside. So, you know, where one has an advantage, the other one has it somewhere else. You know, so this is what makes the fight so interesting and so competitive. And, you know, some may say Spence is the bigger, stronger fighter. I think after this fight, Bud is definitely stronger than what most of us thought. You know,
yeah, I think a lot of the bullshit is just talk. It's everybody's opinion, man. I'm not going to be biased on any of that bullshit. I'm going to look at these two dudes as 50-50. At the last night, that fight is 50-50. I mean, you know, fuck all the favoritism. I'm a fan of both fighters. I fuck with both fighters.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, it's all good. Ron Finger said the smack game going to be crazy. Definitely. T. Lou said I was snipping. T. Lou came back again and said, yes, Spence definitely got that jab. Porter don't. Ron Finger said Crawford went low and came up and headbutt Shawn. That was a bad move. Edward Burks, salute Edward Burks. The promoter's full of shit. Like you can say respectfully. No, dog, that's the problem. That's the problem, Edward Burks.
The promoter's supposed to be working for the fighters, but it seems like sometimes these fighters are working more for the promoters.
The promoter's supposed to work for the fighters, bro, but it looks the other way around. Yeah, that's true. T. Lou said Bud pushed Shawn like he was strong. Very impressive. Yeah, he did. He said, yeah, he was, but like he wasn't strong. Yeah, he actually was bullying the bully.
Man, he almost hip tossed Shawn
last night, bro.
He almost hip tossed Shawn in one of them rounds when he grabbed him in the turn, like, twisted him towards the rope. I thought it was gonna be a Royal Rumble, like he was about to throw him over the top.
Yeah, he was like he wanted to throw him, bro. Edwin Berg said that's why I said if the money's right, definitely. If the money's right,
bro. If the money's right, bro, it should be no reason why these fights can't get made.
Period.
You know.
And I saw an interview recently with Bob Arum. He wasn't talking about these two fighters. He was talking about Devin Haney, and he was like, "Well, Haney and Teofimo, you know, if Haney wants $5 million, it ain't gonna happen." So basically, he wants to lowball these fighters, and these fighters ain't gonna just fight. You remember it's called prize fight. These fighters, bro, these dudes fight every fight like it's their last fight.
I hope because once again, this Crawford-Porter fight, I don't know if I would say that this was, you know, the crossover mainstream fight. Us that follow boxing know how great this fight, when it was announced, could be, and it lived up to it. You know, so I hope for the sake of the business part of it that it did well at the gate and it did well on pay-per-view, because that's the only way we're gonna see more of these fights is if folks, you know, buy the tickets, go and buy the pay-per-view. Shit.
Oh, well, everybody keeps saying fucking no, I agree with you on that, because we know people stream the fight. So I'm hoping, like I said, we bought tickets. So we supported it on that end. I'm hoping people at home that did see the fight bought the fight. I agree with you. Because if that shit, the numbers come back real low, man, that's not gonna be a good look for Crawford. T. Lou said he was joked out when he saw Bob. Bob was crying last night. I gotta look back at that video. Bob wasn't crying. You saw it? Brandon, did you see it? Was he crying?
I don't know. I mean,
I think he just be looking like that with them red cheeks.
He
like
may want to cry, man. Crawford go to be the biggest star in boxing. He is gonna cry because he gonna have to eat all his words that he said about Crawford not being profitable. He gonna make somebody some money. Crawford gonna make him some money, and he gonna make somebody else rich.
Damn, bro. And, hey, bro, he had his opportunity. He had his opportunity. We all know that. And he said that, Porter. He said that Terence Crawford wasn't a sell. He was losing money on
Said he
him.
was losing money. He said he
So,
could have bought a house in California and all this other stuff.
well, go ahead and go buy your house.
He could
You
buy
ain't
it
gotta
now.
promote
Let
this
him go
guy.
buy it.
Ron Figner said I can see T-Bud getting a 5-fight deal, kind of like Floyd did. His pound for pound status still. Man, that's the thing about it, bro. These dudes ain't doing no 5-fight deals no more. Especially Terence Crawford is 34 years old. He might not have 5 fights in him, bro. Unless he plan on doing freaking 3 one year and 2 one other year. He's 34 years old. And these dudes want to retire these days smarter than the old cats. They want to retire with all their faculties. And if you want to retire with all your faculties, you don't want to retire past 35, 36. Like Shawn Porter. How old is Shawn, man? Shawn's still young.
Nah, Shawn just as old.
He shouldn't be past 35, bro.
Bro, that's
I'll look
still
to see
old
right
in
now.
boxing. Hold on, I'm gonna find out. Hold on.
Shawn, this is how old Shawn Porter is, but you want to lead the damn sport with all your faculties, bro. You see some of the older fighters, bro, and you just want
Shawn
to
34.
34. There we
Yep.
go. He's the same age as Bud. So
Yep.
he's getting out at the right time, bro.
Yep.
That's great. T. Lou said treated Bud like shit. Don't feel bad for Bob. No, he did. That was the whole point, man. The way he spoke about his freaking fighter was garbage. I mean, it was like no respect there, bro. So last night, I think a lot of fans and media enjoyed what they saw. They felt like it was warranted. It was needed because of how he treated Bud, bro. We all know that Bud is a top caliber pound for pound fighter. And he treated Bud like Bud wasn't shit, like Bud didn't sell. Even if that was the case, you don't put that shit out in the media because now you're promoting this guy. You already shitted on him. How you expect somebody won't buy his fight if he ain't shit? If you're losing money on him, you don't do that, bro. It's the ultimate disrespect. And with that being said, I mean, that man don't want to fucking fight for you no more. That man is gonna take his business elsewhere, and hopefully he succeeds, man, and he do his thing. I think the best move for him would have been to go with Al Heyman and PBC.
Yeah.
That would have been the best move because all the fights he needs is right there on the PBC. It will be no excuses then. It would be definitely no freaking excuses.
I think Terence knows that too. And once again, I'm not talking about no fight. Everybody make whatever decisions they gotta do for their family. But I look at a situation like Boo Boo, that he's in, and then it's not his fault, but he's over there with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom. Nobody's going over there to fight him. Now could they possibly, but if people are comfortable in their own situations too, and you're not willing to move, they're not willing to move, promoters not willing to work with each other, these fights aren't gonna happen. But when you got an opportunity to be a free agent and you control your own destiny, they're gonna give you that guaranteed money for these fights or in advance or whatever the case they might do. But if you want the fights you saying you want, you might gotta bet on yourself, be a free agent and go fight to fight.
I agree. T. Lou said he was trying to mess up Bud with if he tried to leave. Exactly what he was trying to do. He tried to back Bud into a corner, thinking he'll lose to Porter. Now it backfired. Yeah, I agree, dude. I freaking definitely agree. And I think if it went to the freaking judges' scorecards, bro, you never know what type of shit they would have had plugged up. I think we were sitting next to each other. I don't think I know we were sitting next to each other when we were saying that shit. Man, this shit could be dangerous. This shit go to the scorecards. They might have something set up for Bud to where Bud loses and straight trying to destroy
But
Bud.
I was
You know what I'm
worried they were
saying?
gonna cash out on Bud last night, bro. You weren't gonna be
That's what
signed.
T. Lou was just saying, you
I
know.
was worried about
So that was the
that's why I
whole
was worried
deal,
about it going
man.
to a
And
decision.
I mean, I like to thank T. Lou, Ronald Finkley, Rob Gibson, Edward Burks, everyone who came out tonight, man, to support my channel. Thank you for the Cash App. Thank you for chatting with us. I mean, we definitely do appreciate it. It was a very enjoyous night. Thank you to Expert Genius, Quentin Tate. I mean, all you guys who came out tonight. I mean, it was awesome, bro. I like chopping up, talking about boxing. We're going to be on here more frequently. We're going to come up with a time where we're going to be on here at least 5 times a week. I mean, most of our shows will be about 30 minutes to an hour, usually just 30 minutes, just a quick little chop up. You know, unless there's no boxing to talk about, then we might just, you know, do it shorter than that. But we just basically, we want you guys to support. Make sure you have the bell shake icon clicked, right? And definitely come on and let's chop it up sometimes, man. Like I said, I definitely appreciate the donations,
Appreciate
man.
y'all.
That's how Brandon and I are able to go to these fights, bro, and get y'all the content that y'all need, man. You know, by you guys supporting our channel. Thank every last one of y'all. We appreciate you, Ronald Finkley. Definitely. T. Lou and all the rest of you guys. You know, we thank y'all. Hey, Brandon, any last words before we check on out of here?
I appreciate the support. Like the video, subscribe, get your family, your friends to subscribe. You know, other boxing fans. You know, and we're gonna try to continue to bring y'all some great content. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all. And with that being said, this is Nick with BNboxingNews. And I'm out of here. Peace, and we out of here.